Stuart, welcome back to TRunblocked.com.
Thank you.
When we spoke at this time last year, you reminded me that Nestle's commitment to sustainability is real and is global. Indeed, there's plenty of evidence to support this. I mean, we only have to look at the electrical vehicle fleet in Switzerland, the CFI cocoa venture, your seventh safe water plant in Pakistan, the packaging innovations that you've alluded to before, to recognise this fact. Indeed, it's Nestle's declared corporate aim to achieve 100% recyclable or reusable packaging by 2025. Now, Nestle International Travel Retail has already taken major steps in terms of sustainable packaging. Can you remind us of what you've achieved so far and what the game plan is for the coming years?
Okay, well, glad you start with the objectives and the 2025 sort of mission, which the group has. We got out of the blocks quickly within our particular business unit. Pre-COVID, we were already communicating that we were going to remove single-use plastics out of Smarties, and we've accelerated the journey to the point that it's all now in paper packaging. The steps we've then taken beyond that, moving Quality Street into paper outers and then recyclable wrappers on the inside as well. And we then continue to move on. The Kit Kat sharing bags, the outers of the sharing bags and the snacking bags are now also in paper packaging in this year to come. So we're making really good strides down the journey. In terms of just continuing the momentum behind that towards the journey becomes the first thing. Beyond that, starting to communicate better the sustainability stories behind. So what we're doing with the launch of Nescafe Farmers Origins, for example, and the QR codes that allows people to really understand the origins of the products that they're buying. Absolutely key, which we then take also into the work we're doing with the Nestle sustainably sourced cocoa. So there's a whole journey we're going on through the packaging, through sustainability as a theme. We as Nestle, we talk about regeneration. We're a food company and we should be playing on the front foot in relation to the things that we're doing, because we're doing a lot of really good work.
But can you take us through some of the things you're doing on regeneration, your direct involvement there?
Well, it comes upstream, Peter. So it's not just what we as NITR are doing, it's what the company as a whole is doing. But I think it's best summed up by those words: protect, renew, and in particular, restore. A lot of the sort of sustainability things is often about, getting to neutral. We're saying actually we can return the world to where it's coming from. So, we're already making huge strides on that. Putting goodness back into the earth becomes part of the work we do in working with many farmers on many different crops all over the world.
Are the farmers into regenerative farming itself?
I think any responsible farmer understands, and farming is, I grew up in a community that had a lot of farmers around, okay? They're there through the generations. They understand the importance of passing on to the next generation. So as a community, they get it big time. I think if you can then come along with things that will help them do those things and help renew and regenerate the soil, for example.
It's helping the families too, isn't it?
It's a baton you're passing to the next generation. Yeah. So absolutely they get it. And I think that's where those partnerships become really critical upstream for us.
I mean, do you think in the wider context that if brands are not transparently sustainable nowadays, that there will be ecological and financial damage to the brands as a result?
Yes. Very simply. The expectation, people of our generation, we were like the teenagers of, in our mindset. We didn't think too much about the resources we were using from the planet. When the baby boomers, post-war, everything went on a curve like this. Yeah. The millennials and the Gen Zs, they're conscious that there are limits. And we were never conscious of that. So we lived the party times, let's call it. They're living how do we make sure that there's continuity going out and beyond? So it's incumbent on us, who are in a position to influence these things, to help put the right things in place so that they feel comfortable that we're doing the right things for the future, for their future, and for the future of their children as well. And I think this is where, again, I'm proud about what we're doing as an organisation. We're striving to do the right thing. One other interesting thing, for Nestle, we peaked in our carbon usage in 2019. We've started declining, okay? We're now below the 2018 level. This year we'll be getting below 2018. So it's a long journey, but we're already making progress down that journey, and we have to continue to accelerate on it and find the right solutions. But we're on our way.
Okay, moving on, what is your view of how travel retailers are facing up to the growing need to introduce more sustainable products and generally adopt more sustainable actions? I mean, who takes the lead in travel retail? Is it the brand or is it the airport? Isn't there still an abundance of greenwashing out there? We certainly find that the case.
Well, who takes the lead? All three need to. The airports have been very clear. Retailers are fully on board because they understand their shoppers want it, and it's our consumers who also want. So everybody's got skin in the game on this particular one. What we're very happy with is the response we've had to the work that we've been doing. The support, the extra support we've been getting, the incremental growth we're seeing on a brand like Smarties, which was at the front end of the curve, because retailers are giving these brands extra space. I know influential people in the industry, Sarah Branchino, to name one, saying, isn't it, when will the day come when the whole store will be sustainable? If you're having a sustainable section, doesn't that say that everything else is not sustainable? And it's a very, very fair challenge. But in the spirit of Rome wasn't built in a day, organisations are making progress, some faster than others, for others to decide who's greenwashing or not. But a nice vision of the future is everything in a store will be sustainable. And when we hit a point where no gondolas have to be marked sustainable, that'll be a good day coming forward. Until then, we have to help shoppers find the things that they're looking for.
One final question, Stuart. I mean, what else are you doing in the next 12 months that we'll see evidence of, proof of, when we next talk for your own product range?
Well, we can talk about what we're launching now, sustainably sourced cocoa under the Nestle brand. I think we're very excited about the response that we've had to this, because everybody's understanding that it's foursquare, hitting the nail on the head that the consumer is looking for, and under an extremely well-known and well-respected brand, Nestle.
Sure.
In between times and behind the curtain, we're going to be working on what we're going to present in Cannes next year. But what I would invite you to do, and any of the listeners or the viewers of your blog to do, is look at the trajectory we're on. Look where we've come from what we started with Smarties first, what we're doing through Quality Street, Kit Kat, through into the Nestle sustainably sourced cocoa, as well as the farmer origins on the Nescafe front. There's a very distinct trajectory that anyone can see, and there's more to come.
Excellent stuff, Stuart. Thank you for your time, as ever.
Thanks, Peter.